Hello everyone, welcome to R programming lectures. So in this video we are going to discuss about the data structures in R programming. So what are the various data structures are available in R programming, and also we will discuss the first data structure of R programming is vectors. Let's getting into the first slide. So normally the R programming is supporting different type of data structures, and those data structures can store the data in a one dimensional or two dimensional or two n dimensional, which means that some of the data structures is storing the data in the form of one dimensional representation, and some of the data structures is using two dimensional representation of data or multi-dimensional representation of data. And one more thing is, whatever the data that you are storing in the data structure, some of the data type supports the homogeneous data structure, and some of them is called as heterogeneous data structure. We need to understand what is meant by homogeneous and heterogeneous. Normally homogeneous means all the elements that you are storing in that particular data structure are of the same type or identical type, which means that all the values you are giving numerical values, or all values or all the data elements should be, or all the items should be character values, and all the items should be complex type of values. That is what we call it as homogeneous. So some of the data structures is supporting as homogeneous, and some other data structure is heterogeneous, which means that the heterogeneous data structures is going to store the data of any type. So both type of data structures are available in R programming. Normally these data structure frequently useful in data analysis, and here I have given a list of various data structures that are supporting in R programming is, so vectors, arrays, so we have list and strings and matrices and factors and data frames. So when compared with the Python programming language, there we have list and tuple and set and dictionary. So it is going to support those type of data types. But here most of the data types that is supporting in R programming, and these data types means these data structures will be helpful for the data analysis. Right, we'll getting into the first data structure of R programming, that is vector. Simply what is meant by vector means it is a list of items of the same type. Same like an array in C programming, we have an array. Array is a collection of elements of same type. The same way here also, vector is a simply list of items or list of data values, and all of the data values should be same type. Simple definition of a vector. Normally here you are going to give more than one element or a list of elements that you have to give in a vector. So for that purpose, what you have to do is you have to use this particular C function to combine the list of elements into a vector. We have to use this particular C function, and the elements should be separated by a comma. Okay, and one more important point is that, so whenever the data structure, it is going to store the number of elements, so those elements could be accessed with the help of the index position. So in this vector, the index is always starts from 1, not from 0. Normally in arrays, the index values are starting from 0 in C programming, and but in vector here the index values is starting from 1. This is most important one. Also you can create any type of vectors like numeric vectors or complex numbers vectors or character vectors. You can create any type of vectors. So let me show you to create one vector. For example, so I want to create a vector fruits is equals to C of, so here I want to give the list of fruits. For example, guava is the first element, second element is apple, and the third element is banana. So like that you can give any number of elements, and fourth element is melon. So you can give any number of elements. Let's execute this and print the fruits. So total how many elements I have been given? 4 elements is given: guava, apple, banana and melon. So this is character type of vector. So let's check the type of vector. This type of vector is a, so character type of a vector. And the second one, for example, I want to create numbers, otherwise marks. I want to create a vector that is marks is equals to, we have to use the C function. For example, I am getting 75 marks in one subject and 87 marks in another subject, and 57 marks in another subject, and 83 is another subject. So total I have given 5 elements here. So let's print the elements of marks vector. So let's check the type of this particular marks. See, it is a double type, means it is belongs to the numerical type of data type. So this is a way we can create the different vectors. Now the next one is to find out the length of a vector. So to find out the length of a vector, we have to use the length function. So which gives the number of elements that the vector is going to have. For example, I want to find out the length by using the length function of the vector. The vector name is fruits. So what is the length of this vector? That is 4. Suppose I want to find out the length of marks. The vector name is marks. So 5 elements is available. So this is a way you can find out the length of a vector. And the next one is sorting the elements. So to sort the elements, you just has to use the sort function to sort the elements in an ascending order, either alphabetically or numerically. So just use the sort function, sort of fruits. See here, it is going to sort the elements in a alphabetical order, A, B, G, M. Actually, we have given in order guava, apple, banana and melon, but we are getting the values in a alphabetical order. Next, suppose I want to sort of marks, the marks vector, you see. So the values has been arranged or sorting in an ascending order. So this is the way you can sort the elements. Now let's getting into the next one, accessing the vectors. This is the most important thing. And after creating the vectors, you need to access the vectors. So to access the vectors, what you have to do is you have to use the index position of that particular vector, and you have to represent those index values within the square brackets. And I already told you the index value is starting from 1, 2 and so on. For example, I want to access a third element of fruits vector. So just give fruits of 3. So banana. So what is the third element? Yes, banana is the third element. So like that you can give. Suppose in the fruits vector, how many values is there? 4 values is there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 items is there. For example, if I give 5 or 6 or 7, another value. Suppose I want to access the 7th element. See, it is giving the output as NA, not applicable. Which means that total how many values is there? Only 4 data elements is there. 4 items only there. But I want to access the 7th value. So it gives as not applicable, because that particular value is not available. Even we have one more way of accessing the data is, so you can represent with the help of negative value. Suppose hyphen or minus. Suppose I will give C of 1, which you give like this. What happens is, it excludes the first item. You see here. So normally I have given the values guava, apple, banana and melon, right? So first value is guava, second value is apple, third value is banana and fourth value is melon. So when you observe this output, you see, so second, third, fourth values has been accessed and first value is excluded. So when you give the hyphen or minus, when you give the negative value, so that particular value has been, data value has been excluded from the vector and remaining will be given. So this is another way to access the elements of a vector. And even you can give the different index position. Suppose I want to get, for example, let me clear this console by pressing Ctrl +S. Suppose I want to print fruits. Yes, total 4 elements is available. Now what I have to do is, I give fruits of, suppose I want to access first element and third element. You just give first and third. So whenever you are giving more number of elements, you have to give with the help of C function. C function is very important when you are giving more than one element. See, the first element and the third element has been accessed. So guava and banana. Suppose you want to access the range of elements, means from 1 to 3. So then you have to use the slice here. Then you have to use the slice which is representing that starting from 1 and ending with 3. Means starting from 1 to 3. So 3 elements will be accessed. Guava, apple and banana. So this is also another way of accessing the elements. You can give the range. Also you can give the multiple number of index values with the help of C function by giving the comma. So these are the different ways to access the vectors. Now the next one is, if you want to change an item, a specific item, then what you have to do. So simple, what you have to do is, you just give the index value which item that you need to change. Suppose I want to change the first item, fruits of 1. So fruits of 1, for example, I want to give orange. Previously I have given guava, right? Now I want to give an orange. Execute this and let's find out the values of fruits. See, previously the value is guava, but it was changed to orange. So this is a way you can also change the items, data values of the existing vector. And one more important thing is the repeating the vector. Suppose if you want to repeat the number of values for multiple number of times, then you have to use the repeat function to repeat each value. For example, let me show you here itself. So here you have to use the repeat function. Repeat. Here I want to repeat each element value for 2 times. Just you have to give the argument, that is 2, each of 2, and let's execute this and print this. You see here, guava is repeated for 2 times and apple is repeated for 2 times and banana is repeated 2 times and melon is also repeated for 2 times. Okay, so this is repeat function to repeat the items, the vector items or the vector values for multiple number of times. Then you have to use the each argument. This is one way. And the next one is, suppose repeat the sequence of the vector. For example, you have given one particular sequence. So if you want to repeat the whole sequence for multiple number of times, so then you have to use the argument, that is times. So here, for example, I give times I give. So let's execute this code and print these fruits. See here, the first sequence is from guava, apple, banana, melon up to here. Total 4 values is there. Again the sequence has been repeated for another time. Means, so here I have given 2 times. You just observe the difference between the previous output and this output. So here the elements has been repeated for 2 times. But here the sequence, the whole sequence has been repeated for 2 times, which means that the total vector has been repeated for 2 times. So this is the difference between each argument and times argument. Suppose you may have the doubt, suppose I want to repeat the first element for 2 times and second element for 1 time and third element for some other times and fourth element for some other times. So for that, what you have to do is, you have to use the C function. So suppose I want to use the first element. I want to repeat the first element for 2 times, second element for 1 time, and the third element for 3 times, and fourth element for 2 times. Okay, let's execute this and execute fruits. You see here, first element has been repeated for 2 times. So here I have given the first element is for 2 times, and the second element is for 1 time only, because I have given the value is 1 only, and third element is for 3 times, and fourth element I have been given for 2 times. Fourth element is for 2 times. So this is where also each item you can repeat for multiple number of times by using the times function. So here I have given the example. So if you want to repeat each value, each data value independently, then you have to use this particular C function with the help of times argument. Means, so this repeat function, it is going to support 2 arguments, that is one is times and another one is each. And the next one, if you want to generate the sequential vectors, so no need of giving, suppose we have sequential values, for example 1 to 10 or 1 to 50 or 1 to 100. If you want to generate the sequence of vectors, then you have to use this particular operator, that is slice operator. The slice operator also is available in Python programming to represent the sequence of vectors. For example, let's see, suppose I want to create a sequence of vector, for example roll number. I want to generate a roll number. So start from 55 to, for example, 65. 55 to 65. Just press enter and print the roll number. Print the roll number. You see, so 55 to 65 has been generated. So this is a will also you can create the sequence of vectors. And one more thing is sequence function. Suppose you want to make bigger or smaller steps, so you have to use the sequence function, and this sequence function is going to have three parameters. So first one is from parameter, means from where do you need to start. For example, A section students it starts from 1. Suppose B section students starts from 61 and so on. So you have to give the from value, and also you have to represent the to value, means where you have to stop that particular sequence, and also you need to give the by. By is representing that the interval of the sequence 1 or 2 or and so on. So let me create, for example, roll number. I am using the sequence function. So here from is equals to, I am giving from is equals to comma 2. 2 is equals to 65. Also I am giving by is equals to 2. I give by is equals to 2. Let's execute this. You just observe here, starts from 55 and ends to 65, and it by 2 means 55, after you get 57, after that you get 59, after that 61, 63, 65 and so on. So this is a way also you can create the sequence of values in a vector. So this is regarding about the vectors. I hope it is clear to you. Thank you. Feel free to contact me in the comment sections.